Good morning, good afternoon, bonjour, buenas tardes, buenas noches, good night, guten tag, whatever time of the day it is when you're watching this video. It's me again, Jazzy, and welcome to another episode of OpenSec Math. Today we're dealing with triangles. Specifically, we're going to be talking about Pythagoras' theorem. Long time ago in Greece, a man by the name of Pythagoras was born. They probably gave him a hard time in school with that name. But that didn't stop him from writing poetry, playing music, and most importantly, coming up with one of the most influential principles in mathematics called the Pythagorean Theorem. The Pythagorean Theorem is a theory that reveals the relationship between the length of all the sides of a right-angled triangle. The theorem states that in a right-angled triangle, the square of the hypotenuse of the triangle is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides of the same triangle. You all got that, right? There are two terms here that may be a bit unfamiliar. Firstly, what is a right-angled triangle? Well, just as the name suggests, it's a triangle in which one of the three corners is a right angle or equal to 90 degrees. A right angle is a 90-degree angle. Next, what is a hypotenuse? Well, a triangle has three sides. The hypotenuse is the longest side of a right angle triangle. Easy, right? So let's say we label the hypotenuse C, then we label the other two sides of the triangle A and B. Going back to Pythagoras' theorem, which says that the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides, we can come up with an equation like this. The sum of the squares of A and B is equal to the square of C. This simple theory is one of the most influential pieces of mathematics in history, used in geometry, trigonometry, geography, and even war. We would see how it is applied in different parts of mathematics later on. But let's look at it in an example. Let's say you live at your house, which is here, but right now you're lining by your friend Sarah, who lives on the street that is one right away from your house. You're lining late, so your mom tells you it's time to come home. Now, you could take the long route along the two streets by walking 5 kilometers down this street. Yeah, it's a very long street. And then 12 kilometers down this street to get home. Yeah, that's kind of long, right? That would be a whole 17-kilometer walk altogether. But, you know how we people do it. You could take a shortcut. The shortcut track cuts directly from your house to Sarah's house, just like this. Now in our example, the streets form a right angle and the trace between Sarah's and your house completes a right-angled triangle. So, seeing that we know this street is equal to 12 kilometers and this street is equal to 5 kilometers, we could find the distance of this track using the Pythagorean theorem. Now remember what the theorem states. The square of the hypotenuse, which in our example is the track, the longest side, is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides, or the shorter sides. That means that the square of 12 and the square of 5 would be equal to the square of the length of our track. Let's call our track C. So let's work that out. 12 squared, or 12 multiplied by 12, is equal to 144. 5 squared, or 5 multiplied by 5, is equal to 25. That means that 144 plus 25 is equal to C squared. 144 plus 25 is equal to 169. Now, C squared is equal to 169. But we are trying to find the value of C. That means we need to find the square root of C squared, or the square root of 169. Punch that into your trusty little calculator, and we get 13. Therefore, C, the length of our track, is equal to 13 kilometers. And that's the Pythagorean theorem. Easy. Now, going back to the equation of the theory, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, it means that using our knowledge of algebra, we could find the value of any of the sides of the right angle triangle if we know the value of the other two sides. It's just about applying principles with linear equations. For example, suppose you'd like to buy a new flat screen TV to impress your friends. Maybe you want to play FIFA, I don't know what you want to do. But you know the diagonal length of the TV is 60 inches. And you know the height is 30 inches, you need to find out the width of the TV. So you can know what size of stand you need to buy. Or maybe you want to put it up on the wall. Now looking at the TV, we see that these measurements form a right-angled triangle. So we could use the Pythagorean Theorem to find out the value of the missing side. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Always use your equation. We know the value of the hypotenuse is 60, and we know the value of one side is 30, one of the shorter sides that is. That leaves us with the equation 30 squared plus B squared is equal to 60 squared. So let's work it out. 30 squared is equal to 900 and 60 squared is equal to 3600. Using our knowledge of linear equations, we find the value of B squared by subtracting 900 from both sides. This 900 is cancelled out and 3600 minus 900 is equal to 2700. Simple linear equations, right? B squared is equal to 2700. In order to find the value of B from B squared, we must find the square root of B squared, or the square root of 2700. Punch that into our calculator and we get 51.962 if we round off the number to the third decimal place. And that's it for our video on Pythagorean Theorem. We learned about right-angled triangles, the hypotenuse, and the relationship between the length of all the different sizes with one simple equation. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. And that's it for today. This has been OpenSec Math, and I'm Jazzy reminding you, don't panic, it's just math. This video is sponsored by BP and produced by the 2 Cents Movement with the help of these kind and beautiful people. Don't forget to hit subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment, and follow us. Turn on your post notifications. We've got more stuff for you. Don't panic. It's just maths.